Hello and welcome to the Build With Baer Workshop. My name is Pat Baer. I'm here to build model kits with you and hang out. Zeno Gears and Harold are both hosting the stream. Thank you very much. If you're currently subscribing to the Bear Cave Lego site, the emote in the chat, you're not obligated to do that. You can also just throw another emote in there if you feel like it, or you could just say hi. As Zeno did. But thank you for the hosting. Thank you for being here. This is the intro portion of the Build With Baer Workshop where we're hanging out. Lashbrook is here. Hello, Lashbrook. Giving people a chance to come in to say hi. I'm gonna be working on. This is already a nice, beefy, wonderful kit. The Strike Rouge Ootori. We are body complete on it. Middle of you talking, an ad popped up. Yeah. So Zeto. It is generally set up that the pre-roll ads are disabled 20 minutes into the stream for people that are not subscribers once it starts. But sometimes the pre-roll ad doesn't start until after I've started to talk, because usually I'm just chatting for a minute. So yeah, that does happen every once in a while, where I'll start talking before the stream officially starts, and then an ad will just interrupt the people. But yeah, theoretically, people come in now won't see ads. But yeah, the intro portion, where we're hanging out, we're body complete on our kit. We are going to be adding some stuff to it. I got the gun is done, the kit is done. I built its knives. It has knives, and I built those knives because it would be fun to have its two knives. So now it has knives. And it's just gonna hold those knives. And I got a shield to assemble, which is a pretty quick build assembly. And then we'll work on the Ootori, which is the jet, and that also has a giant sword on it. Because this kit also has a giant sword. So yeah, we'll put that together. And that should be most of the stream, if not all the stream, if not a little bit of Saturday stream too. I don't know. But yeah, I am wearing a sticker that is here, signifying that I did get my COVID-19 vaccine. I got my second shot this afternoon. I am feeling fine. We'll see how I feel tomorrow. I wouldn't say I'm at 100%, but I'm also not always at 100%. So, whatever. But I'm definitely like able to stream, feeling pretty good, not feeling particularly too tired or dizzy or lightheaded or sick to my stomach or anything like that. So, figured, hey, if I'm feeling good, let's stream. Zeno says, working on the RG new myself, then going to sleep soon. Still got work tomorrow. Heck yeah. The new Gundam, that RG looks pretty snazzy. So good luck to you on that. As always, this is just a chance to let some people stroll in here that maybe are thinking about joining the stream, but haven't arrived yet. I don't know. Maybe they'll come in at a certain point. Who knows? Maybe it'll be a slow, light evening with not a lot of people. I did say that I might not stream tonight, so maybe people made other plans in case I didn't stream. And I am streaming. But I didn't want to just be like, I'm doing it, plug it all day, and then at like 8 o'clock be like, actually, no, I'm not. So I wanted to give people the warning that there was the possibility that I might call an audible, which I didn't. As you can tell by the fact that I'm here right now. And I'm going to build a model kit and hang out. Let's see. All right, I'm going to retweet my tweet, and let's just go to the overhead, and let's just get into the evening here. Intro is over. Feeling good. It's time to build, is what my retweet says. And, we got a nice little bit of love there from some people about a video that I was in. Plastic Model Weekender. I'm going to. Hey, welcome. Welcome. I'll briefly mention this. I'm going to talk more about it in the coming days as we get closer to the 16th. But that is when I will be doing my stream. It's going to happen Friday, Saturday, and Sunday. 21 streamers will be going 24, 24 hours a day, all the way through. Raising money for the Cure Alzheimer's Fund, and I am taking part on the 16th over at Plasma Weekender. I will be hosting in this chat. I don't know if I'll be looking at this chat, but I'll definitely be hosting on this as well. So come check it out. And then, yeah, every $50 cumulative I raise, I open a random pack of trading cards. I have a bunch of pack of trading cards, and I'm excited to do that. But let's go to the Ootori here. Here is the Ootori. You can see it right there. Looking pretty good. Our Strike Rouge is body complete, and we are about to, we'll put that over there as we do that. And we are about to continue working on this cool kit by building the shield. That is the last outside of the backpack that is left to do on this particular model kit. What will happen if you run out of packs? Well, so that would be awesome because I don't remember how many packs I have, but I would have to, in my 3 hours, raise a whole lot of money, which would be awesome. So I guess I'll give it up to the crowd. The one thing I was thinking of is somebody suggested that if I run out of packs to open, that I start breaking like the cards that are in them for and I was like, oh, I don't know. I think what I'll say is if I open all of them and we continue to raise money, then I will owe viewers additional pack openings and I will procure more packs. I think that's what I'm going to say. So that is like, well, I can't do this now, but in the future I will open more packs. I will owe people packs, and then I will get some other card packs and open those. Also, everybody that donates $20, if you donate $20 once, you just one time, you will be entered into a drawing to win a lot of fabulous prizes. Like, legitimately, people are putting up really cool stuff that I was like very jealous that I am not allowed to. I can donate certainly, but I'm not allowed to get any of the honestly very cool things that are up for grabs. And there will be drawings every day. So it's $20. It enters you on that day, but you could enter throughout. And that is cool. Yeah, we're making it so that like people like putting in there. There's some prizes you could win each day, and I think that is very neat. I'm excited for that weekend. I think it'll be pretty rad. Raising some money. Also, I am not doing it because I am doing Plamo. I am not taking part in the Giant Bomb Community Endurance Run, which is taking place this weekend, starting on Friday. And I would highly recommend you check out Giant Bomb and check out their what do you call it? Why is this not going in? This piece should lock in. Oh, it's up here. That's why it's not working, because I was putting it in the wrong place. You should check out Giant Bomb. Check out their forums. There's in general chat, I believe it is a pinned thing about the full schedule, who is streaming and when. A lot of it will be hosted in the chat when they're not doing other things that weekend. And yeah, a bunch of people are doing different things to raise money. But I made the decision that I was going to do Plamo Weekender, something a little different. Also, it is very rare for me to be doing something with other model kit builders. And so I'm kind of pretty dang excited about doing that, about having the opportunity to do some stuff with people that I haven't really worked with. I know a lot of people that stream variety stuff and games, and I know a few people that do model kit stuff, but that's not the primary thing. They do a lot of other things, so I was pretty excited about the opportunity to work with some people that I don't know. And they don't have prizes up on the website. Is that for Lashbrook? Is that for Plamo Weekender? I know they will be announcing prizes soon. I think it's coming in. It's coming together, but they will have announcements soon. But there are prizes, and I can tell you, as someone involved in the event, that those prizes are fucking cool. And they're model kit related, but very cool. So yes, I believe that I don't think that Jason is kind of co-handling a lot of it, and I believe that he is still. I think very recently they booked some additional prizes. So yeah. Um, all right, let's panel line the front. We'll panel line the back once we put in some of the extra piece, or we'll do that. Then we'll put in the extra connectors and do that. So we'll just get this going. Let's see other things. As mentioned, when I was talking about how I was feeling, one of the reasons why I would say that is because I got my second Pfizer vaccine today. I am now fully vaccinated. Obviously, waiting 2 weeks for everything to look good. Continuing to do that, and then obviously still wearing a mask when I go out. Still social distancing when I can, but uh, when in a private setting with other people who have been vaccinated, can be mask off. Not that I know a lot of people that are also vaccinated in my area who are people that I was be gung ho to go, you know, spend some time with like that. Just not a lot. There are people that I certainly would want to see, but currently don't have the means to see them because they are not in the state of South Carolina. So that's kind of where I'm at right now, where I was like, I mean, this is fucking rad as hell, and I'm very excited, but like, it's a little bittersweet because I'm here. But I'm very excited. Tomorrow, well, today also, besides myself, I had my mom got vaccinated, and tomorrow my father gets vaccinated, and then that is a huge relief. Right now, I'm feeling fine, as I said. I feel a little tired, but that also might just been traveling in a car for longer than I normally do, to and from, and just general whatever. Uh, but yeah, thank you for asking, Harold. But yeah, I am currently feeling fine. I kind of expected that. I didn't feel anything after the first one, um, and did as recommended. Apparently, it helps with the second one to rub the area after you get the shot. You get your second dose of Moderna next Tuesday. Hell yeah, Harold. Hell yeah. But yeah, after the second shot, or yeah, I didn't really feel anything on this shot, and yeah, rub the area, which is supposedly helps out a lot. I don't know if it does, but that is what they say. All right, so we're going to panel line the back of this. Are we going to see any of this? We'll see a little bit of it when it's on the arm, so we might as well. And also, I do like getting better at panel lining, so let's do it. It's going to hit all the bumps, hit all the spots, just kind of hit all that, and then hit with a eraser to clean it up afterwards. So we can do a quick and dirty version of this, and it will, I think, look very cool if we do that. So let's just do that. Again, we are going to do it the quick and dirty method. Just tracing in there. Okay, if we don't get every nook and cranny, try to get all of it, and then we'll hit it with the old eraser. But yeah, I'm feeling good. I'm happy that I was that. Looks like my mom is doing okay. She was just tired. We'll see tomorrow. And also, I'll see tomorrow how I feel, Like, I might wake up feeling like trash. I don't know. Luckily, I have very little planned tomorrow. I do want to do some yard work here in the around the house, and I do at some point have to shoot my next Pat Bears Anime Club video, which goes up next Monday. So I do have to shoot that because I have a video. It's going to be fun. This one I think is kind of educational. Every once in a while I do ones where I kind of go into a history lesson, and this is a small history lesson about a small thing that I have been wondering for a long time and finally did my research to answer a question I've had, and I feel like maybe other people will have that question too. So I'm pretty excited about being able to answer that. So that's something I got to shoot this weekend. My next, also, I got to shoot because what I thought it was going to go up next week for Bear With Me, unfortunately, I cannot use. It has been region locked, so I'm not going to do that. Bobby Dice Roller just subscribed to Tier 1. That's 9 months. Thank you, Bobby. I'm going to hit the old applause there. Thank you very much. Let's throw the Bear Cave Lego site the moat in the chat. Thank Bobby for being a continued subscriber. 9 months. That's rad. Welcome. Hope you're having a great Thursday. I'm panel lining the inside of this shield, and then I'm going to put some parts on it after I clean it up. Yeah, the video that I was planning on using for next week's Bear With Me is region locked. So a big chunk of the world will not be able to see it, and that is not cool. I don't want to do that. So we'll just go ahead and I deleted it, and then I will just make a new one, and that's all right. It wasn't my favorite. That does bum me out sometimes when I'm like, oh, this is gonna be rad, and then I'm like, oh no, it's not rad. Doesn't work. But that is the price I pay for literally actually doing what I say, which is watching a video that I have no preconceived ideas about. I don't know what they are other than the title. Bobby says, got my vaccine yesterday and just resting through some side effects, but other than that, I'm having a nice day. Hell yeah, Bobby. I was talking about, before you came in, that I have gotten my second vaccination shot today, and I'm feeling good. No adverse side effects as of right now. Of course, it's only been like 7 hours, so who knows? As I said, tomorrow, perhaps. Well, thank you very much. Hey, Eric, thank you very much for the congrats. I appreciate that. Um, yeah, so here in South Carolina, at the beginning of what was it? Yeah, the beginning of March, like the second week of March, they announced that they were opening up to 1B. And one, obviously, it was not obviously, but it was a certain age and over. They extended that age down. Then they added in people that work in any kind of frontline worker, restaurants, food industry, grocery stores, stuff like that, delivery people, and then also health people that had pre-existing conditions like cancer, either have it or is survivors of it, various health conditions. And one of those health conditions was a BMI over a certain number. And it just so happens that that's me. And while I do think, and I continue to believe, that BMI is bullshit, I will take advantage and make sure that I get vaccinated because I am living with my folks and I want to look out for them. And then also, because I was eligible, it was easier to schedule my parents as well who had been having trouble. Because then I was like, well, now I'm scheduling all three of us. And I was able to do that. So my mom is vaccinated with her second vax today. And then my father goes in tomorrow because I was not able to get all of them on the same day. They're one day apart. But yeah, managed to do that like literally the day I started trying. Because I was like, I'm not going to do it on the first day that it's available for all these people. I'm going to do it on the second day it's available for all these people. And that actually worked out somehow, which was pretty great. And then I was like, I'm happy for everyone that gets it and makes an appointment, does all that. I'm a little jealous of all my Johnson & Johnson friends out there because some of them are now done. And so I was a little jealous of them getting their one-shot vaccine instead of the old two shots. But the nice thing was a notification went up that Walgreens had more in stock. I went onto Walgreens with like my laptop and my computer and like different tabs, and then got everybody like locked in with the accounts, and that went well. Bobby says I got the J&J, pretty much all they're offering here now. Well, I mean they should, right? Like it apparently the Johnson & Johnson works better in young people. Apparently that's been shown to work very well for them, and then also it is it's the one shot and it doesn't have to be as temperature controlled. So yeah, it seems like the thing to send out. You know, it doesn't have to be the only thing to send out, but it does feel like the thing that people are doing. So that's rad. But yeah, I was happy to get it. I'm happy to see friends of mine getting it. As I was kind of alluding to, I am bummed that I am here in South Carolina, and basically, the next time I will see someone from my life as a comedian in New York is if and when Charlie Todd comes down. This is basically just for Eric, but when Charlie comes down to visit his folks, he's actually very close to where I am. We haven't been able to see each other. Overlap hasn't worked, but theoretically he'll be down before I end up in New York again, and I'll be able to see him, which is still lovely to think about. And hopefully he gets vaccinated. I haven't seen, but I believe hopefully he will in New York. I also started referring to my vaccination card as my V card, and then someone let me know The term has another meaning. Whoops. Yeah, Bobby, V card does mean something else, and it might be something that you don't. Yeah, you might not want to call it your V card. You certainly can, but you might want to not call it that. But also, that is very funny. I yeah. Um, I saw somebody complaining that Americans shouldn't call it the jab, that is not a term that we use, but I do think the jab is way better than the shot. I just think the jab sounds cooler, and maybe that's the Anglophile in me. I'm not a major Anglophile, um, because almost all of my comedy heroes have turned out to be not the nicest people who are British, except for like two or maybe three, but everybody else turns out to be just turf nonsense. So I've like, so I'm basically just like, I've been a little less of an Anglophile than I used to be. The Fauci ouchie. Harold, I'm going to be honest with you. I haven't heard that one before. I don't know if I like it. Also, because, just centering one person on that. I do think that it's cute. I'll give you that. It is a cute way to say the vaccine. It's called the Fauci ouchie. Um, I do think it might diminish it a little bit, but I think that is kind of cute. Um, I know I shouldn't, but I'm trying to find the inciting event for all the MTG nonsense. Like, I kind of gotten it via context. I still want to know. So, Lashbrook, um, I don't know where hashtag MTG Booty started. I don't know if hashtag MTG Booty. Slowbird, hey Slowbird, I say I got the vax, but then someone think I'm talking about some really old and nearly obsolete computer system. Hey, I got a vax. They'd be like, ooh, and you're like, no, not like that. Um, so Lashbrook mentions there. So there is a thing in the world of Magic the Gathering, MTG. There is a hashtag floating around today that I saw in a positive light because I only follow people from the world of Magic the Gathering that are nice, good people. I don't follow jerks into Magic the Gathering, so I only saw it in the positive light, which I saw many male-identifying streamers and YouTubers posting photos um, because apparently someone or someone's out there were complaining about some Magic the Gathering presenters who identify as female or present as female and have were the usual thing. Same thing with any other content creators. They're just, showing something. They're just doing this. It is a general idea that they are using their attractiveness to get views instead of their hard work, which is what I do, the theoretical I. I am not getting opportunities because I am not an attractive woman. Which, like, do you talk to women? Do you ever talk to them about what it means to be a content creator or a person on the internet or a person in general? Because, like, I gotta tell you, they're working fucking hard. They're working harder than you. There is no person with any audience out there who is female that is not working 100 times harder than some dude with a webcam. Like, there's just no way they're not working so much harder than you because they have to work so much harder to get any sort of attention in the world. Uh, because they get shit like the shit that is being said. So yeah. So I appreciate that some folks were like, I'm going to be out here saying like, hey, like that this is silly and supporting people. Now, some of the content creators who are supporting a lot of these people, do they go out of their way to make sure that marginalized creators, including women, are in the spaces that they've carved out for themselves in front of their very large audience? Not enough. Not enough. Is that a conversation we should definitely be having? Yes. Uh, do I hope to see more than just a bunch of straight white guys and one or two queer white guys at the loading ready runs MTG pre-release tomorrow or Saturday, whenever it is? Yes, I'm hoping for that. I am. I am hoping for that. I understand it's fucking hard. Believe me, I am guilty of not having enough people of color and not black, indigenous, and people of color and women on my panels when I do conventions and things. And also, there is literally no excuse for me in the context of panels that are digital because I don't even have to worry about the people getting to the convention. They just need the internet. So I know I'm guilty of that, and I am working harder to be less guilty of that in the future, certainly. Um, but but I do think that there is room to be uh, a little like, oh, all right, okay, well, we can all do more, is what I'm saying. We can all do more. But yeah, last week, I don't know where it started. I don't know if the hashtag was started to being negative or was started in response to what has been said. I didn't quite get the context. I just saw like, well, first of all, I saw one person do it, and I didn't know that he was doing it in order to support people. I was just like, hey, why am I looking at my friend in his underwear? What's happening right now? Um, and then eventually I figured out context, and I was like, I got it. I get context. I get what's happening now. Okay, well, this is pretty cool. But yeah, I definitely didn't have the proper context for what the fuck was going on. The hashtag was started in response to the original person complaint. Thank you, Bobby. I appreciate that context. Um, yeah, I mean, that's it. Definitely seems like it was more to dunk on a dude. And good. You know what? Because that's the thing, right? We hear this a lot, right? Like, hey, you know who works harder than anyone I know? Uh, uh, Tanya DePass. Tanya works harder than anyone I know to carve out the world that she has carved out for herself. In which case, a lot of what she has carved out, the world that she's carved out, is also to lift other people up and to help other people along the way, like in an incredible amount. But like, I don't work as hard as Tanya. There's no way I work as hard as she does in this. So there's no point in me being jealous or envious or anything other than being supportive and wowed and proud of what she does uh, and psyched about it and happy that we're friends. Like that's all there is. Like the alternative to that would be to like yeah, like to me just feels completely unnatural to be like, "Oh, well, why is she on the front page of this and why is she doing that? Well, oh, well, it's February, so you know what that means, like all that nonsense." It's just like, nah, I don't work hard. I don't work as hard as Kate Stark. I definitely don't work as hard as Kate Stark. Kate Stark works too hard, arguably. Like, I definitely don't work harder than Kate. So it's like, nah. Now, are there people that I think I work harder than who have done better than me? Certainly. Uh, but like, okay, great. Now, do I think that there is a person on YouTube that reviews model kits that hasn't been doing for that long and has a large following? And do I think part of the reason why they have a large following on YouTube is that every thumbnail shows who they are as a person and what they are wearing? Yes. But she knows what she's doing. And then also continues the content. Has got sponsorships, has comments that are positive and negative and supportive, and she's doing all the work. Is she also being like, yeah, I know what thumbnails are? Yeah, so more power to her. If she wasn't doing anything besides that, if all she was doing was that, then it's like it also wouldn't last that long, and it'd be a blip in the radar. It's just like, yeah, sure. Good on you. Fucking work the system as best you can, as much as you can. Hell yeah, do whatever you need to do. Like, that sounds rad. You know, it's like people. Uh, It seems to be in the year 2021. Oh well, you should start a page. Sorry, you should start a Patreon has become you should start an OnlyFans in that it is a joke, but we are a year away from, if not already at, it not being a joke anymore. Because yeah, you should. You should definitely. You should. You know, like, yeah. If you want to, if you wanna, you should. It's like, why not? You know, there. I love that there are wrestlers who are on there. There are stand-ups now. Unfortunately, most of the stand-ups on OnlyFans are, are right-wing people who are not funny. But I love it. They're just like, yeah, that's a monetization platform. I'm going to join it. It happens to be where a lot of the naked and not naked but suggestive people are at, because so far they have not come down on that. Uh, they keep getting close to having to do that, and it's going to be a fucking bummer when all those people have to find another revenue stream, certainly. But right now, it's not a problem, so good on them. But yeah, there are people on there who are not, which is cool. It's not a lot of them, but there are. I think that's neat. Good for them. Um, so if you saw on my Twitter, I wanted to mention that on my Twitter, I posted a link and I retweeted it, so you can find it there. To Mark Vigent, old friend Mark. Mark makes fun YouTube content about YouTubers, and he does a lot of like mini docs. Very funny dude. He was doing a show about the internet that like was a live show in New York before the Troubles. Great dude, very fun. We did stuff together in my comedy wrestling league that I helped produce in New York. Um, he made, and he's been doing it for a year, a little mini documentary about my friend Matt Little. Matt Little is the person that filmed and uploaded to YouTube Pizza Rat. I am literally wearing the New York Comic Con 2019 shirt, which has Pizza Rat on the back of it, because Pizza Rat was the unofficial mascot of the show for no apparent reason. I do not know why it was, but it was, and I got a shirt, so now I have that shirt. So I decided to wear it today because the doc came out. Um, but anyway, it's a little mini doc. It's like 45 minutes long about Matt and what it means to go viral, especially what it means to go viral for a video you filmed, not when you're a comedy person, not a comedy video, which is like what the actual dream is. To go viral is like, oh, my funny video got 1 million views. What happens when it's not a funny video? What happens when it's just a video that exists, a documentation of a real life moment? Um, and they talked to Becky, who is Matt's girlfriend, and they talked to me. I'm in the documentary because I was fucking there. If you watch Pizza Rat, the actual YouTube video, you hear my voice saying, follow your dreams and believe in yourself and get that shit. And just, me saying nice things to this rat to encourage the rat to get that pizza. Live your best life is what I say. Um, yeah, that was really fun to do. Now, I will say, uh, Mark and I talked on Zoom, and the quality is kind of bad because this was in March of 2020 we talked. Because we were eventually going to talk in person, and then we couldn't talk in person. Literally, we were scheduled for March, and it was just like, hey, things are getting fucking scary. I don't want to go visit. I don't want to go visit you. Let's figure out how Zoom works. And we did. We figured out how Zoom worked. Ballistic Meatball is now following. Thank you, Ballistic Meatball. Appreciate the follow. Also, great username. So yeah, I recommend it. As I said, it's on my YouTube. And yeah, it talks about like what it means to what Matt was going through at the time and thinking at the time, and the weirdness of going viral. The thing I say in there that I've said several times when talking to people about it is, um, it's nobody nobody wants to talk to the person that filmed Pizza Rat, and people want to talk to Chewbacca Mom, right? Ellen wants to talk to Chewbacca Mom. Uh, People want to talk to people that went viral for dancing and all that other stuff. Uh, but it's weirder if you're like, I filmed this thing. Here's me. It's a weirder thing. Um, like people want to interview the kid from the meme of the little kid who kind of looks like Patton Oswalt with a shaky fist, like this. People want to talk to that kid all grown up. They don't necessarily want to talk to the person that put a funny caption on that video or on that photo and uploaded it to a website. Which is so that's kind of like what that is. Now maybe some people want to talk to that person, but not as many people. So it's an interesting thing to look at. Um, and also specifically, what does it mean to be a comedy person who wants to make entertainment for a living? And what does it mean to do that? I started that, but need to get back to it. It was a little weird to watch him just show up at his house and give him a hug. Yes, Lashbrook. Um, Mark should have put when that was filmed. That was filmed, I believe, February 2020, because March would have been when he talked to Becky and myself, which is why it is over Zoom. Um, for follow-ups. But yeah, I think Mark should have put when that was filmed. It is weird to see. It is weird to see two of my friends hug each other and see each other. That is very strange. And then you could also be like, what was shot by Ian, the filmographer? What was shot by him, and what was shot of just Mark with a tripod in his own bedroom? Because like that's because of restrictions and all that. So yeah, it is a little weird, but I think I think it's worth your time. Um, it's an odd thing that I know several people that have gone viral, um, and it's strange to think about that because like I know them. I don't know. It's like a weird thing to say, but it's just like I don't know. It's to me they're Matt and Drew. But to other people, they're like this entity that exists, this weird thing. I mean, at least with Drew's case, it's gone beyond him, but he is the person. It is him, which is a bit different than Matt's case, which is just like Matt's the guy that made it. And then also there's if you want to know my thoughts about Zardulu, that is also in there, and I think that was just important for me to get out. I needed to get that part out of me. I need to get to a place. I mean, I am pretty much in a place where I don't care anymore, but that's also a lie. Good night, all. Have a good rest of the stream, Pat. Harold, thank you very much. You have a good night, my friend. I will talk to you soon. Thank you for hosting, as always, and enjoy the rest of your evening, which is sleep, I assume. All right. So we're working on the jet part of this because this backpack can fly in as a jet, which is weird. It's just weird, but great that it can do that, and then it can lock in place and all this other stuff. But it will have a jet mode. We will build it as a jet, which is just a silly thing to say. All right, then we got to put this on here. We're going to need R and Q. But yeah, I don't know. I was pleased to be able to get in part of that little doc. I was wondering when that was going to come out, and I'm glad that it's out because I think I don't know. I think the viralness is interesting. There's a series where they like track down people. I think BuzzFeed has done it, and it's not the only people to do it. Where they like track down the viral stars to like get their thoughts and to see what they're up to. Also, I will say this is a weird thing to say. For some I would say some audience of a certain age will know when I say the weirdness that is that I have met Boxy, who was for a blip in a moment was a big deal to a certain terrible portion of the internet. And it's very weird that I have met that person uh, very briefly, because there was a group that existed. Old memes are the weirdest memes. Indeed, Slowbird. There was a group that existed. I do not know if they are still active, but their very idea was to help young people that became internet famous, suddenly internet famous. Their basic idea was to make sure that they didn't get taken advantage of, and then also they could talk to other people that had gone viral. Um, One of the people involved with it in that group at the time, who I don't think is still active with it, had an MTV show at a very young age, and then another person that took part in that group was also someone that had an MTV show at a very young age, although she was a bit older, which is just a weird thing that they shared in common. Definitely something that I missed, but I'm familiar enough with the name. Yeah, a terrible website decided a particular girl who made a video that was there was nothing weird about the video other than she was weird. They decided that she was the queen of the website, and that didn't go great. Um, and then eventually went all right, and then yeah, she ended up just leaving the internet for a very long time, but then kind of reemerged. Uh, but there are groups out there that are actively attempting to help people who are in weird situations with suddenly having access to opportunities, but also being taken advantage of. And it's awesome that those groups exist and can step up to at least offer advice, if not be able to directly help. They can at least offer some guidance, and that is necessary for people that are suddenly thrust into the spotlight. Like, I wasn't too worried about Matt because the nice thing about being a comedian in New York who suddenly goes viral is like you can talk to other comedians who have done viral internet stuff, or you can talk to like it was like, hey, well, do you want to talk to like the head of good evening, Dirty, welcome. It's just like, oh, you've gone viral for a video that you made. Do you want to talk to like the head of College Humor about this, like, and what to do next? Because like, I can do that if you want. Like, we were able to like negotiate things and like reach out to people, and other folks aren't like they don't have that ability. They don't have that connection to be able to reach out to people. Um, so it was a little bit of a different situation, but yes. Long story short, you can find it on my YouTube or on my Twitter. I've linked to it. Mark Vision is great, and I think you will like this little mini doc. It's 45 minutes talking about Pizza Rat. And it is very focused on Matt, which is great because that's his thing. The only thing I wish that was included in it is I wish that I had talked about, because I had forgotten I hadn't talked about, so it's not included because I don't think I had ever said anything, why I didn't help Matt out with a video that he made as a follow-up, which was a comedy piece that was behind the scenes of Pizza Rat. And that was because people were saying that it wasn't true. And we talk a lot about that, about the Zardulu bullshit. But I did want I wish that had been able to include that I was like, look, like this is fine and whatever, but I didn't want to be in that I didn't want to be in a comedy video because I was annoyed that people said that we were liars, which I will always be annoyed by. I will always be annoyed because a portion of my whole fucking thing about being on the internet, a good bit of who I am and what I do is predicated on the idea that I am presenting myself authentically. Uh, and so the idea that people would say that I was part of a fake video was a bummer. Now, have I been in faked videos? Yes. Was Pizza Rat one of them? No. The faked videos I've been in have been for Improv Everywhere because that is their whole fucking thing, is to make videos that are lies. They're happenings. I take part in happenings, and I've always been happy to do it. I always feel weird about doing ones that take place in a business. I will always feel weird about that because I don't like the idea of disrupting people. Although, who knows when the fuck Improv will ever be able to do anything again? Because a large part of it was large public gatherings, and I feel like that shouldn't happen again. So I don't know what Charlie's gonna do, but we'll I'm sure he has put some thought into that. But yeah, Pizza Rat is real. It's always been real. Zardulu is a made up thing. I still contend that is just a weird project by a very interesting, smart weirdo who was attempting to make their video go extra viral. Oh, I got a new X-Acto knife. It is smaller than my old one. It is thinner. The blade is smaller as well. And I feel like this will be better for the application of stickers. Is it better for doing like paper craft or doing like cutting up stuff like cardboard? No, this is not better for that. But it is definitely better for applying stickers because it is smaller and lighter. Also, this part is gold, and that doesn't make anything better or worse, but it's gold and it looks great. Uh, so there you go, new X-Acto. And then we're going to use that because we got to apply 2 stickers here, 6 and then 5 on the other side. So we got to put black stickers on this, even though this is the master grade. A knife for every purpose, I always say. Indeed, Slowbird. I'm excited to have this new blade. So this is 6. So to see where this goes. This. Wait, does it go like that? I like that I'm like, wait, how does this sticker work? Alright, this goes in like this, and it says the 6, which is the one I pulled off, goes here. And then it goes like that. Okay, that's what it is. Glances at 3+ hobby knives on desk. Yes, definitely. Like, I like that I now have 2 X-Acto knives. Like, I have 2 X-Acto knives for, and I can say, like, similar purposes. Similar but different purposes. And I think that's great. Alright. I don't know if this sticker was necessary, but since I did the one, I gotta do the other. Also, I have to remember that this is sharp because it is a new blade, whereas my other one got a little dull. So I do have to remember that while applying stickers, I have to remind myself, oh, this is a sharp knife. Do not hit yourself with this knife. Do not cut yourself on stream, please, Pat. Do not cut yourself on stream. Knock on wall. Knock on wood because I have a chair. That is wood. I could just do that. Alright, we applied that. We're going to apply a little panel lining. Then we're going to put that in there. I'm now going to move my knife away from my hands so that I am not touching it. And we'll just we'll put some black. Oh, we'll do some black on this too. Yeah. That looks neat. We're just going to put a little black on this side piece here. And the bottom, because we don't know what will be shown, because this does have a transformation effect. So we got to make it look nice. All right. And then we attach this side up to here. Great. Yeah, so this can move around. And that's got to Little part there, little blade. Oh, there's a little spot on here. Can't really see it, but there's a little indent which we can hit with some gray, which will make it look sharp as hell. Hell yeah. That's good. All right. And then we put on the other connector pieces. Still got a lot. We still got to build up a lot of this left to put it together. There's a stand just for this thing, and then a big sword and a big gun that goes on it. And then we'll put this together, and then we'll put it on this kit, and then we'll maybe finish up tonight. I don't know if we're going to finish tonight. Like I said, I don't know. We might not finish this. I think we're going to get close in the next hour, but I don't know. I would like to, but also on Saturday we can wrap it up. The next thing I'm building is the next kit is going to be Lego. We're returning to the world of Lego. It has been a hot minute since we did Lego. I'm excited to work on a Lego kit in the future, in the near future. The sharp one for precise cuts, the dull one for sawing, scribing, the curved one for difficult situations, the thick one for serious shit. Yes, those are all valid. You're not wrong. Is it me, or does that seem pinker in the photo than on the stream? It is. This kit is definitely this is definitely off-white, but it is not as pink as the photo is shown, because that is not a real kit. That is a CG markup of what it could look like, in the same way that that red is more ruby than this is. That is definitely a pinker kit, because honestly, like, that makes this look like it's supposed to be the color of the whole body. This is off-white. It's I think you can tell. This white, this is pure white, and this is off-white. Some of that, yes, wristband. Some of that is my overhead light, but hopefully you can see that this is a pinker, more pink than this, the Ootori. But yeah, it's not as brilliantly white as the photo suggests, unfortunately, or brilliantly pink, I should say. But yeah, okay, you do see the difference. Good, because there is a difference there. Also, hi, wristband. So there is a difference. We will take a pause for the cause in a little bit, talk about ways you can support the channel, get back into building, doing my thing, and all of that. But I'll try to be quick about promoting myself and doing all that, because we are a little light this evening, but, you know, still good to say. We got to do one in here, one there. It's getting warm here in South Carolina, and that means that it's getting hot in this room, because it is not hot enough in this house to warrant running air conditioning all the time. But this bedroom, I have a giant computer in here. That is, the fans are running and doing their thing, because the computer is 3 years old. So no matter what, no matter how much I clean it, it's still going to run hot. And that therefore makes the bedroom here definitely warmer. I'm probably, for Saturday stream, if we don't have the air on, I'll check before. If we don't have the air on, I'm definitely going to highly consider opening up a window, which does, you know, increase the risk of there being some sound bleed, but I think it's worth the risk, because the alternative is that I just start sweating buckets. Now, also, could it be that I am feeling a little under the weather, and that is one of the reasons why I'm hot, due to having my second shot? That's totally possible. But also, it was hot in this room yesterday when I wasn't feeling that, when I was playing 2 cool video games. I highly recommend, continued to recommend the demo for Arcade Spirits, the new challengers. If you liked if you thought Arcade Spirits was a bit too much of just focus on the romance and not enough about the friendship, well, this one is definitely focusing on that. It certainly has its elements of a romance apparently to come, but the demo for this, for new challengers, was heavily focused on friendship, which was nice, and camaraderie. But yeah, I had a good time playing it. I know romance is coming in it, coming soon, in the larger game. But yeah, that was fun to do. Enjoyed working on that. And then, I don't know how much replayability. So here's the real thing is, okay, so the real thing is what I need to do is um, I need for the game of God, sorry, my mind was blanking for a second there. Dorf Romantique. Uh, I feel like I need to watch some YouTube videos of people who are good at that game because the tutorial was great at saying what the mechanics were and how to do things, but not like why to do them and what situations. And like, I just want to know what I'm doing wrong because there were spots I was laying tiles down and there were spots where I couldn't lay any tile anymore, and I don't know why I was getting that, and I want to know why so I can do better at it. So I think I'm gonna have to watch some YouTube videos before the next time I stream that game because I will probably stream that in the future. Because I did think it was neat. I just don't know what I was doing wrong. And I want to know what I was doing wrong because I am showing it to you, the audience. But it's cool. I love the idea of a tile builder. I love that some of my tabletop RPG friends are also very interested in it because some of them can't play games in groups, so to have an idea of something they could just do in a game like that that kind of scratches that itch for them. That's rad. So I'm hopeful that that it will be really fun. Uh, Lashbrook says that's a bummer. GB made it seem like a real chill out game. So Lashbrook, it is. It's just that it's part of it is the fact that maybe it's because it's done by a team of 4 students in Berlin. I think it's polished. I just think that the tutorial says the game mechanics, but leaves something to be desired, and I think that can be fixed. I think being in early access is great for that game because I think they're going to get feedback from people, and maybe even me. Maybe I'll jump into Steam. I try to avoid comment sections on Steam, but maybe I'll jump in and say, hi, I wish that there was more of a tutorial. I wish the tutorial had a voice and maybe there was some characterization. But I think the tutorial is just like the physical, how to use the mouse to do things, but not like the why. And maybe that's important. And if that is important to them, if the you figure this out is important, I want them to tell me that. So then I could be like, oh, okay. As soon as I heard you were streaming that, I thought, yeah, that sounds like a Pat game. I mean, like, it is trying to make stuff happen, and then like the idea that there might be ways to have like style points and like to kind of figure things out as you go and like be like, oh, I'm placing these water tiles and I made a cool lake around all of this forest. Like, I don't know, that does appeal to me. I'd like to see more of it. I just right now don't know if this is like 100% the game for me in terms of playing it. Board game rule books can be really bad about teaching you how to play the how, but not the why. Yeah. So like there was just things like I was running into some parts where I was like, I ran out of tiles because I didn't do enough things to get me more tiles, and I kind of know why that is, but I don't know what I should have been doing differently to make that work out. So I'm interested. Like I said, if and when I'm going to stream it again. I mean, here's the thing. Honestly, I liked it, and I spent $20 on it on the early access. So like, I spent $20 on it, and there is right now not a sandbox mode. So there's just the tutorial in the main mode. So I'm gonna stream it again because I spent money on it. So I want to make content, and I like it. So I'm gonna play it again. But I am gonna have to do my homework of like going and watching videos of other people who have played it to see what tips and tricks they have. And I'll just kind of have to do that. And that's maybe I shouldn't have to do that, but also you do what you got to do. So I'm going to get this assembled, and then we're going to take our pause to the cause. There are a lot of stickers coming up here. I'm going to tell you right now, I don't think I'm going to do the stickers on the wings here. We got these big white wings here, and there are some stickers that go on this. The Q5 pieces, or the black pieces here have some stickers that go on it. I'm going to look to see what the color is on those stickers. I might not apply those, or if I do, I might apply them later. What numbers are these? 18 and yeah, these yellow stickers. I don't know if I want to put like this looks. Hey, does anybody remember when I was building boats, One Piece ships? These stickers remind me of that. So like, that's not good. That doesn't fill me with like interest to do. Maybe it'll like look bad if I don't, but I feel like it won't look bad because these are black and white. I think it'll be fine. So I might not be doing all of these stickers, whereas I usually do, and instead just panel lining and leaving it at that. I'll have to see how I feel about it, and maybe I'll do stickers like that off stream. But I'd rather be building. But we're going to assemble this, and then we'll get everything together here. So this got to go here. This goes here. And then this goes here. Then what stickers go on here? 14, 15, and 16. Yeah, these yellow... You know what? I'm not doing these yellow stickers. I don't feel like I need to. I don't feel like it's going to add anything to it. This photo here, we can make this bigger and then take a look. Yeah, this photo doesn't, which is a render, obviously, as we mentioned, doesn't even have any of the yellow stickers on it, and I don't think it needs it. I don't think it needs those yellow stickers, so no thanks. Just put this back in it where it belongs there. Yeah, I think we're going to skip the yellow stickers. I don't feel like I need them. And I think that's going to be fine. Maybe I'll miss them. Maybe I'll wish I had put them on. But right now, looking at it, I'm like, not really. I'll panel line it, but I'm not going to put any stickers on it. There's not a lot to panel line on this. There's like a little bit here. I am going to talk about some new anime stuff that I've been watching. There was a surprise show for me on Wednesday, a thing I didn't know existed because it was not advertised anywhere. So I'll talk about that. And I'll talk about, some shows that I was expecting to watch. I do think everything that I watch, I'm going to give at least another episode to of everything that I watched in the past couple of days. Who knows, though? Things are going to be rough because there's a lot of shows coming out on Friday and Saturday. And then there's one show I didn't watch the first episode of. So I'll just say that right now. I don't have Netflix right now, which I will get so that I can watch Shaman King because I do want to see that, the new Shaman King reboot. But I probably won't watch Way of the House Husband because nobody I know who has Netflix and watched it liked this adaptation. I knew going in with the trailer that it looked real bad, and because they're doing this like stop motion graphic, it's a choice. They made a choice, but it doesn't look good. So I'm kind of not feeling too bad that I decided not to immediately get Netflix again to watch it. But like I said, I do at a certain point want to watch Shaman King. But also there's so much this season and I haven't dropped anything. There was nothing. Odd Taxi is the only show I started watching and went, meh. Because even Jorin, the Goddess of Blood and Snow, I watched one episode. I think I'm done. But I did watch one episode of it. I gave it one ep. But I didn't even get through all of Odd Taxi. I think I might end up marathoning Odd Taxi when it's done. But I'm maybe just, not maybe, I know I'm not in the mood right now for a anime about like weird characters with the main character is kind of unlikable trying to solve a murder or a kidnapping, like trying to solve a mystery. I'm just not super into that. Yeah, Dirty, I will drink some water. Thank you very much. I appreciate that. Everybody, let's have a little water if you need it. Or stretch your arm, stretch yourself out, take your hand off of your hand. If you're doing like this, move your body if you haven't moved it in a bit. But also, I'm going to promote myself for a little bit. We'll get back to building but I wanted to take a moment to say, hey, thanks so much for watching the stream. I hope you're having a good time. If you're not already following me, consider giving me a follow there so you know when I go live. I build model kits Monday, Thursday, and Saturday, 9 p.m. to 11 p.m. Eastern. On Wednesday, I do something different. Next Thursday, I will not be streaming. That's the 15th. I'm taking Thursday off because I'm streaming on the 16th, where I'm taking part in the Plamo Weekender, the Plastic Model Kit Weekender. It's all happening all weekend on the 16th, 17th, 18th. I'm streaming from 8 p.m. to 11 p.m. Central because the organizer is Central, which is 9 p.m. to midnight Eastern. I'm building a kit specifically for the event. I got a high grade that's really silly, so I'm doing that. So consider coming and checking that stream out. So I'm going to take next Thursday off, so I'm not streaming Wednesday, Thursday, Friday, Saturday. Instead, I'm streaming Monday, Wednesday, Friday, Saturday. It took me a second to remember how dates work, which was fun for me. Oh, Knitted Sweater just raided a party of 11. That's so nice. Welcome, everybody. Welcome, raiders. There's going to be an impending manga apocalypse due to demanding tripling and corona impacting printing. So I'm thinking picking up Way of the House. Totally. Welcome, everybody. And also, Dictacular is raiding with a party of 4. I know that the two of you were streaming together. So that's rad that everyone's coming over here. Hi. We were taking a couple minutes for me to promote myself. But we're not going to do that too much. I'm going to get back into building and talk about anime. But I will just say I got a Patreon. If you're not subscribing here on Twitch, consider subscribing, gifting a sub, bits and coins, gifting some to somebody else, getting yourself. If you got your Twitch Prime token and you're not using that on anybody, use it on me or use it on another streamer you like. But if you have Amazon Prime and you linked it to your Twitch and you're not using that free token once a month, then you're just not. You're also not using Amazon Prime enough to watch videos. So what are you even doing? Getting free shipping on items? Good. Stay home. We did geography, and one of the geographic locations was a manga museum in Kyoto, so very on brand. Hell yeah. I'll be talking a little bit about Japan, because there is one anime that I watched that features some Japan, Ask Japan, in it, and we're going to get into that. The only other thing I want to promote is, well, yeah, we'll get back to videos here. Oh, Dictacular just subscribed. That's for 5 months. Thank you very much. Thanks for using your Twitch Prime. Hell yeah. Let's throw the Bear Cave Lego. Scythe emote. Yeah. Welcome. Thank you. Using those primes. We're going to get back to building. Yeah, I guess I'll just going to not do my full promotion thing. I will say, since I have some new people here, oh, and also Slowbird wants me to ring the bell. I'm going to ring my physical bell that I own. Because I had another object that I would hit, and I don't want to use that object anymore. So instead, I bought a bell on Amazon. Dirty wants me to also ring the bell. Is it a good bell? No. Was it inexpensive? Yes. Someday I'll get a better bell. Plastic Model Weekender. Hi, folks. Because we got a bunch of raiders, and before you drift off into the night because you were like, I was doing this one thing, and now I'm watching a guy talk about anime and build a model kit, and I don't know if that's for me. I get it. I get it. I got to promote this thing because it's a donation incentive thing. We're raising money for the Cure Alzheimer's Fund. The cool thing about the Cure Alzheimer's Fund, everyone on the board does not take a salary, so your money goes to finding a cure for Alzheimer, which rules. Bobby also just gifted a bunch of subs, so I got to go back to this menu so the names show up, because I don't have the name show up on that one. Welcome to Steve Tanks, Flying's Circus, Eiffel Art, The Jaw 4, and Xenogears. I know Xenogears. Welcome, welcome. Enjoy your subs. Thank you very much, Bobby, for continuing to gift subs. I very much appreciate it. But I'm doing this charity event benefiting Cures Alzheimer's Fund. There are 21, count them, 21 streamers, all model kit builders, people that make all kinds of different things, and builders, and we're all streaming on this one channel. Hey, Words Baby. And you're welcome to come and check that out. And my stream is going to be 8 p.m. to 11 p.m. Central, which is 9 p.m. to midnight my time, Eastern, Friday, April 16th. And for every $50 donated during my stream, I will open a pack of random-ass trading cards. They are from movies and television and comics and sports, question mark? And it'll be fun. And anime. There's also anime cards. And I'll be opening those live on stream for every $50. And that's cumulative. So if you donate 20 and then someone kicks in 30, boom, another pack. So that'll be neat, and please come check that out. And then watch everything the whole weekend. And if you donate $20 at any point in the weekend, you're eligible for a bunch of prizes, and the prizes are fucking cool. So now I'm done promoting myself and this stream that I'm doing. Let's get back into building. For those that are just joining us, this is the kit that we're working on. We are body complete on our Gundam Strike Rouge Ootori. Ootori refers to this thing, which looks like a jet when it's done, but is actually a backpack that will go on the back of this kit, as you can see in the photo, and just be extra weapons and also a way for a big sword to arrive, because there's a big sword in this kit. This kit also, as you can maybe see, has knives. This mobile suit has knives. Not every mobile suit has knives. This one does. They fit on the sides, which I don't want to do because these pieces will pop off, which sucks. We have panel lined it. We have built it. We are now putting it aside for a little bit so that we can continue to work on this. I have made the choice. This kit is saying, hey, there's these yellow stickers. You should put these yellow stickers on the pieces you're about to build. And I said, I actually don't like the look of those yellow stickers, so I'm not going to. Maybe later I will. If you've gotten vaccinated sooner, I'd say go to the mall and find one, the one store that still has like old 90s CGs, TV sets nobody wants, and buy those. Look, here's the thing. I bought enough packs that I should have enough packs for the whole stream, and then the idea that we kind of settled on is if I don't have enough packs, I will owe people, and I will get some other ones. I bought most of mine from an online store that had a bunch of stuff that if I bought, I think it was like 7 packs, it would be free for shipping. So I just bought a weird assortment of packs and got the free shipping, and then bought a few things. I bought one specific thing on Amazon because there was something I really wanted and I saw it was on Amazon, and so I got that. Anyway, let's get back to building. And then, like, as I said, I'm going to talk a little bit about anime. Hey, Pat, says John Robert. Just saw the Pizza Rat video today. You're in. Hell yeah, JR, welcome. I talked about this earlier in the stream, folks. If you go to my Twitter, twitter.com/PatBear, you will find links to a mini doc that I took part in, presented by my friend Mark Vigent, about Matt Little, the person that filmed Pizza Rat. And it is a kind of, somewhat funny, very, also serious look at what it means to go viral, especially when you are someone that wants to make stuff for the internet and the world and television. And what does that mean when the thing that you make goes out there, but it's you filming a thing that happened in real life? I think it's a good little doc. I'm currently mulling over whether to buy the Grimoire Red Beret kit, but I'm not sure about dropping $50 on a high-grade kit. Yes, I spent a lot of money on a high-grade, the Penelope, but it's the Penelope? Folks, it's the Penelope. I haven't built it yet. It's a giant-ass, big old chicken armor that goes over a regular Gundam. It's the Penelope, and it was worth the money I spent on it, even though it's a high-grade. I don't know if the Red Beret is worth that. It is a cool kit, but I don't know, Dirty, if it's $50 cool. I would say you might want to try to see if people have built it and put videos up on YouTube. do a little more research before you drop $50 on a high grade. But I understand what you're saying. All right. Now I got to talk about anime, folks, because I watched a bunch of shows. I'm going to put it here in the chat so you can see what I watched and where I watched it. Okay, so let's start with the Slime Diaries. Now, okay, the Slime Diaries is based on a manga which is made by the same creator as That Time I Got Reincarnated by a Slime. Or, sorry, That Time I Got Reincarnated as a Slime, aka Slime. So Slime comes out, first season, kind of cute, kind of interesting. You know, it's an older person reincarnated, overpowered, but still like trying to do the right thing, focusing on monsters and like a world of, propping up a lot of monsters. Like, I don't know, interesting. It's an interesting show. And then the second season is like, all right, well, the ideology of this comes into question when people want to destroy what has been built. Season 2 goes from being kind of a quirky isekai, a different world anime, into kind of your standard modern isekai. In that your overpowered main character is being aggressive in order to get what they want, which in this case is protecting the people that they've decided to protect and punishing the people that have hurt the people they want to protect. And things get fucking rough and dark. Well, if you saw season 2 and you or heard about season 2 and you were like, I don't know if I want to watch a dark version of this show, it's cute, you should watch Nobody Has the Red Brain Stock for Retail Price Wild. Okay, well, there you go, Lashbrook. Letting me know. Slime Diaries is for you if you were like, what if That Time I Got Reincarnated as Slime was just fucking cute as hell? What if it was just like a cute as hell series and like not aggressive and didn't get fucking dark as hell? The animation style is a little bit chibi. It's not full chibi, but it is lighter than the original. Almost every character is drawn like in a cutesier style, but some of the hobgoblins, like Rigard, look the same, or they've been softened, but not as much. And it's weird. It's a weird choice that some characters just aren't, and so they stand out. But a lot of the characters are. And it appears to be a kind of like slice of life about. It's set during the first season before things get dark, and it's just kind of like the characters going about their day, doing their thing, living in the hub city of Tempest, just kind of like chilling. And it's odd. There are scenes with characters who don't get a lot of time, like Kurobe, who is the Kinjid that like isn't the leader. He isn't like the tough guy. He's just kind of like, he's now a craftsman, and so there's a little thing about him. There's a thing about Ranga like trying to impress their master, which is fun. There's a bunch of nonsense and silly stuff. For some reason, Trini, the Dryad, is working at a bar, which is just an odd. It was just like, why is this happening? And even he's just like, hey, why are you working here? You're a Dryad. So it's cute, and I think it's fun. I don't think anything dark is going to happen in it, but it allows for some characters like, oh, the old man Kaijin has discovered bonsai trees, and he's like pretty psyched about it. And it was just like, oh, that's cute and neat, and I'm glad that this like exists in an anime. I don't know. I was like just like kind of happy to watch it. Especially after the roughness of the Season 2 Part 1. Season 2 Part 2 coming up next in the next animated season. So this is just like, I don't know, a little delay before things get real again. I don't know, it's pretty cool. Another isekai that came out that is also a Tuesday show is The Saint's Magic Power is Omnipotent, which I will be calling Saint, because it's easier than to say the whole fucking name, which is the saint's magic power is omnipotent. Also, omnipotent is not a name or word that I say very well. So I'm going to try to not have to say it that often. And this show is a throwback isekai. This is in the model of the Shugi Yugi or Escaflowne or Inuyasha, in that it is a female lead, and it is not a postmodern isekai flashback like My Next Life as a Villainess, all routes lead to doom. This is like, nah. We got some romance in this shit. All the men are handsome. The girl is trying to figure things out and is strong and is going to make things work and is going to help people and is going to do her best. And also fall in love with multiple people probably, and there will be love triangles. And it's just a traditional isekai. SEI is an office worker, and she gets summoned to a fantasy world with another girl who we don't learn her name. And some people are like, well, the saint shows up to help us in trying times, and sometimes they don't show up. The saint doesn't show up, so we have to summon the saint. And we got two saints, and that's weird. But the prince is like, no, that one's a mistake. Sei is a mistake. The other girl is the saint. And Sei is like, well, then can I go back? And they're like, we don't know how to do that. Until, yeah. And she's like, but you don't need me, so I'm just fucking here? And they're like, you can live on the grounds and hang out. And we'll figure things out. And then eventually she just ends up being like, okay, well, I'm going to go and do something. I have to do something. So she ends up moving in and working in the Potion Research Institute as a researcher. Turns out her potions are more effective than anyone else's, and she's very good at making potions. And somebody behind the scenes is like, okay, I feel like maybe she's the actual saint, and our prince is an idiot. So, who knows if that's going to come up. Also, she saves the life of the best friend of the person that gave her the job, and so there are romantic feelings there, perhaps, and I'm sure there will be other romantic feelings. There's already 3 dudes that are all real into Sei. And at least one of them is not faking it, if not 2 of them. But one is probably faking it because he is working, he's the reason she's there, and maybe they're doing it to keep an eye on her. I don't know yet. But I'm going to keep watching it. The Saint's magic power is omnipotent. Seems fucking rad as hell. As I said, it is a traditional isekai, in that it has a female lead, and then this one is got some romance happening. And I am excited about it, and I am looking forward to finding out more about it. So yeah, I'm 2 for 2 in shows that I'm going to keep watching. And actually, I'm 3 for 3. I'm just going to tell you right now, I'm also going to be watching Super Cub. Holy shit, Super Cub. Holy shit, Super Cub. My highest recommendation possible is that you give Super Cub one chance. It's on Funimation. This following Tuesday, it'll be free. If you don't have a Funimation, you can watch it for free with ads next Tuesday. If you have Funimation, you have a Funimation account, you can watch it right now, because as I said, it came out on Tuesday. What is this? Now, did I get teary-eyed at the end of this episode? Yes. Is the piano, the soundtrack, mostly piano, which is a definite attempt to play at your heartstrings, because it's like a jazzy piano, and it's meant to invoke emotion and get you 100%. Music is meant to get you. Is it fucking beautiful? 100%. This is right up there with those Snow White notes in like a show that is just like going to devastate me in the best way possible. Because here's the brutal one sheet. Uh, I am hit with nostalgia for a time and a place that doesn't exist for me because I don't have any. I didn't bike to school, but our main girl in the show, our main character, Kugama, uh, Koguma, is biking to school, and there's a sharp incline, and she hates biking to school because of this incline that happens. It's just frustrating. The voiceover lets us know, hey, we're starting off trouble here. She has no family, no parents, and she has no friends. And she feels like she is nothing and doesn't have anything. She does see somebody ride by her on a scooter. And that makes her wonder about scooters. Because it would be easier for her to get where she needs to go if she was on a scooter. So after school, she goes to a place and buys a used Honda Super Cub. Now, a Honda Super Cub looks like a scooter, but it is technically a motorcycle. It just happens to look exactly like a scooter, but it is, I guess. Adding Super Cub to the list of things to check out, says Words Baby. Yeah. Now, apparently, it's used and cheap. She doesn't have a lot of money or any money, but it's used and cheap because it is not the safest vehicle. And in fact, more than one person has died on it, which is why it is so cheap, because the old man is straight with her. But she still wants it because it doesn't matter, because we are seeing a girl who has who is definitely doesn't have anything and doesn't have. I get the sense this girl is just like, if I die in this, it would be all right because at least I lived on it. Like, this is a person that doesn't have much of anything. And she ends up taking the driver's license test that day, and she gets a license plate, and she gets minimal instruction, but there is the owner's manual. And then off she goes. And she smiles. And we didn't see her smile in this show. We saw her briefly smile when she was riding downhill on her bike. But as soon as she went uphill on her bicycle, no smiles. And she smiles while she's riding. And the music swells. And it's fucking just gorgeous. The soundtrack is all piano and it's used sparingly. And that night, she can't sleep. And she decides to go for a ride. And she gets to a convenience store, and then the bike won't turn over and won't start. And she digs out the user manual, and she's freaked the fuck out and stressed the fuck out. And she realizes that she's out of gas, but there's reserve fuel. And she figures out how to switch over to reserve and gets to a gas station and gets gas. And then she's reading more of the manual and trying to figure out more about how to do it. There's a moment where she, like, moves the bike so she can see it from her window where it's parked and just kind of stares at it and smiles as she rides to school. The smile on her face the whole time. And hey, here's a spoiler. I don't know. I haven't seen the second episode. There are other girls who ride motorcycles to school or around. And she's going to meet those girls. And it's going to be girls into a thing. It's going to be a girls into a thing anime where the thing they're into is riding motorcycles to school. And again, Super Cub comes with my highest recommendation possible. It's melancholy and it's sad in the beginning, and it has to be because if it started with I'd go to school and ride a bicycle, and then later we found out the trauma, it would feel hollow. But because we're starting with the emptiness of this character and the blossoming of this person, because like up until she gets the bike in this first episode, she is just existing and walking and doing her thing. And then she's like stressed out and excited and giddy. And we get to see a range of emotion in this character that we didn't get to see up until this point. And I just can't stress enough how much it fucking rules. So Super Cub, it is right now neck and neck with those Snow White Notes as my favorite show of the season, which is another like person who is feeling very empty but has an outlet. But that dude already knows what his outlet is, which is the shamisen. This girl is just figuring it out, and I can't wait for episode 2. Wednesday can't come soon enough. And now to completely change vibes and talk about another anime which has a very different vibe, as I just said. Let's talk about Miss Kobayashi's Dragon Maid S short animation series. So the sequel, which is coming out next season to Miss Kobayashi's Dragon Maid, is called Miss Kobayashi's Dragon Maid S, which is S is for super, or it's for a bunch of different things. Also, maybe is the name of a character that we haven't met yet that is going to be in that season. Maybe that is what's happening. But yeah, we're getting we're getting a mini season. This is 1.5 minute episodes. I had no idea it was happening, but it comes on late on Wednesdays, and I just saw like Crunchyroll just like announced like, hey, episode 1 of Miss Kobayashi's Dragon Maid S short animation series is coming out. So this is gonna be 1 minute in the day, the life of, kind of like even more just laid back versions of the show. This episode was just like Toru didn't wake up Kobayashi so that Toru could take Kobayashi to work in dragon form. That's it. And you see Kana for a little bit. And then the very beginning of it, of her waking up, was a different art style. Because I think it was because she wasn't wearing her glasses. So it was like, oh, this is how she sees the world when she's not wearing her glasses. But it looked like almost computer generated, and it was odd. It was an odd vibe that I was very surprised to see. And yeah, again, there's nothing much for me to say about it. It was just if you liked Dragon Maid, here's more Dragon Maid before more Dragon Maid. And it's the cute little chibi series that comes before it. And that's, I don't know, that's cool. So, I think you already know. If you didn't watch Dragon Maid, I don't know why you would start with this instead of watching Dragon Maid, but I don't know, maybe you can get a little vibe. And the ending was kind of video gamey, which was kind of cool, the end of the episode. So I don't know, I'm going to watch it. I like Dragon Maid. The parts that I didn't like about Dragon Maid, I didn't dislike enough to not watch it anymore, so I'll check it out. I'm just panel lining this real quick, because these wings will be seen opened up, or these jet pieces, so I do want to panel line this. And then we'll attach this, and then work on the other one. And then the last show I want to talk about is How Not to Summon a Demon Lord, Omega. Omega is the sequel to How Not to Summon a Demon Lord, another isekai, because I'm watching all the isekai this season. I can't tell you, I can never recommend this show. I can't recommend the first season, I can't recommend this, because the thing about How Not to Summon a Demon Lord is, it is super horny, and I don't like the kind of horny it is. Like, I gotta say, folks, you can quote me on this, if your show's horny, that's fine. Like, okay, sure. But this show is gross horny, and like, not like awful, it's just like, bleh. Also, the first episode of the second season literally starts with a queer-coded villain. Like, not necessarily gay, but definitely like Disney villain gay. Like, just incredibly, like, clearly over the top, effeminate male that is doing this to just be shocking and show that they are a villain. And it's like, come the fuck on. And the only thing I was bummed because it looked like that character had been murdered by our hero Diablo. Diablo did not froze that person solid, did not murder them, which I am annoyed with because it means they will be back at least once, and I need them to not be back. Basically, what is happening in the show? Well, so how not to summon a demon lord? A demon lord was summoned, right? Two girls summon a demon lord. One is a cat girl, one is an elf. Season 1, they summon a demon lord. The thing is, they fuck up. They don't summon a demon lord. They summon a dude who plays a online MMO where he plays a demon lord and is the best at playing that demon lord. He's great at the game. So they summoned this random dude in his demon lord, like his avatar. And so he's like, well, I got to pretend to be this demon lord. Like, I have the powers of this demon lord. I guess I just got to, like, pretend to know what I'm doing and kind of, like, fake my way through it, which is a fun premise. And then, like I said, it's gross sometimes and a fucking bummer sometimes and not cool sometimes. But the power system is great. He's an overpowered main character. Like, people are like, oh, you're just a demon. I'm not scared of you. You're a low-class demon. It's like, oh no, I'm the strongest thing you've ever seen. Now, and possibly in Season 2, we are going to see him actually face some characters that are as strong, if not stronger than him. We rarely saw that in the first season. Also, we're not going to see all of the characters from the first season. They basically are like, these characters aren't coming. And it was like, mostly for the best. Because some of those characters, like, were fun in context but didn't make sense in the long term. I don't really like the new character. I like the premise. The premise for her is that she's in peril. She is a high-ranking member of some holy church in a far-off land, and some people in that church have decided she needs to die. And so she prays to God to come and help her. And her magic actually, like, gets the attention of, kind of accidentally, gets the attention of our demon lord, who is just like, who was just like, what's going on with that magic? I'm going to go investigate. Oh, now I just got roped into this girl's business. I guess now I am helping this girl. This was not my intention. I am now involved in this. Which is pretty fun because he's the self-proclaimed demon lord, and he is she's just like, oh, God showed up. Now, should I also say that the peril she's in involves tentacles and sucks? I should say that. I can't not tell you that. I hate that I have to tell you that. It's not the worst, but it's not good. And then he's just like, hey, what's happening? Who are you? Why are you calling me God? I'm not a god. I'm not Kami-sama. And he hasn't actually said, like, I'm the demon lord. He never gets a chance to actually say, I'm the demon lord. Anyway, he saves the day. They're going to go on an adventure. She needs to go find somebody who we get the sense maybe actually isn't going to be a hero and is another villain. She's got to go track this guy down. They're going to go with her on a quest to help her out. And he's going to get roped in, have to fight all these people probably. And it is what it is. And there'll be new characters that are also interested in him. And yeah. Again, I can't recommend it. I can't, in good conscience, say, you should really, one of the shows you should be watching this season is How Not to Summon a Demon Lord. Like, I can't tell you that. Will I continue to watch it? Yeah. Because I like the premise of this dude. I like this dude who's, like, trying to figure this thing out and, like, stuck in this world that he can't get back, and he's got to, like, pretend to be, part of the reason he's pretending to be this character is because he's insecure like, and he's like, I gotta talk to all these people and I gotta be strong, and I've never done that. But like, when I was this character in this MMO, I had confidence. So like, part of that is him like playing the role of a demon lord, trying to figure that out. And I think that's fun. I don't necessarily think it's fun that like it's so annoyingly, weirdly, grossly sexual. Like, that's not fun. I don't enjoy that part of it. But How Not to Summon a Demon Lord Omega. It's on Crunchyroll. I guess it's also on Funimation. I'm watching it on Crunchyroll because I prefer Crunchyroll's player to Funimation's player in every instance I have come in contact with so far. Maybe someday I will like it. Uh, Funimation's player, I will maybe someday be like, actually, it's good now. But not right now. We are definitely not finishing this tonight, folks. We are going to finish this on Saturday because I will get the wings done here, but I am definitely not completing this on this stream because we still have to build the rest of this thing, and we got to build a big sword that goes on it and a rocket and some sort of weapon that goes on it as well. So yeah, we're not going to finish this up tonight. We will finish this up on stream on Saturday. And then, hey, you know what? You're here. I'm going to tease you because we're still going. We still got time. Don't worry. We're not done here. We're just like, I'm just letting you know that I know I'm not finishing this kit tonight. But the next thing I'm working on is, let me find it. Where is it? There it is. I'm doing a Lego set. Lego Brickheads, The Mandalorian, and Child are the next. I'm going to start that on Saturday because when we finish this up. So it's a Lego Brickheads of The Mandalorian and the Child, Man-Child, as I like to call them. And I will be building that Brickheads after I finish this kit. I watched the first episode of Full Dive last night, and I'm not going to even give it full 3 episodes watch before dropping it. Says Dirty. Yeah, Dirty. I wasn't going to give that 1 episode. Here's the thing. The premise of Full Dive is that there is a VR MMO that is so realistic that nobody wants to play it because it is brutal and like awful. So the only people that are still playing the game are folks that are gluttons for punishment, or people who have like gotten to the point where they can, they enjoy hurting other people. And so our main character got thrust into this world and it wants to keep doing it. I guess I don't know why. But then there are also like a childhood friend who is real yandere, and there's a bunch of other characters that it's just like the premise was kind of interesting, and then everything I learned about it in the trailer, I was just like, oh, there are a bunch of characters I know I'm going to hate, and I feel like they're going to be here for the whole time, and I'm not interested in seeing them interact or do anything. I'm going to go ahead and dip. I'm not even going to watch it. That was one of those things where if people came back to me and said, okay, well, this one character sucks, but it's really good, then maybe I would check it out. There are a few shows that I just know I'm not going to... I just know my taste. Like, I'm sure there are some people that are going to watch Combatants Will Be Dispatched, or Combatants Are Being Dispatched. I can't remember exactly. I apologize that I can't remember the exact name of it. There are people who are watching that show that are going to love it. But I didn't like Konosuba, and I didn't like Kimono Michi, and this is the person that created the show made both of those shows. So if I didn't like their best work, and I didn't like their most recent work before this, I don't see a way that I could possibly like their new show, which is technically an isekai because it is aliens on a planet that's alien to them. That is a fantasy setting, so it is an isekai. It's the only isekai this season I'm not watching, which is, I mean, I haven't started one of them because it isn't out yet. We haven't had the first episode of Welcome to Demon School Irmakun. That'll be the first, the other isekai that I haven't watched yet, because that is an isekai. But yeah, it's the only isekai this season that I'm like, no, I'm not going to watch Combatants Will Be Dispatched. You could maybe argue that Eden Zero is an isekai, but I think that's just a space anime. Like, to me, that doesn't feel, because I think they're gonna travel to a bunch of different worlds. So I don't think that counts. Uh, it's isekai in the same manner that Stargate is an isekai. Yeah. Um, but yeah, I don't think Eden Zero is an isekai. I don't. But if it is, then that's one I'm not watching. Because there's a. Hey, you know what? I'll say this. The one thing I will say about Eden Zero is, God bless the mangaka um, of Fairy Tail for having the fucking balls, the fucking chutzpah, the fucking like decision to be like, I'm gonna do a space adventure, and my main character is gonna look kind of like my art style, and then there are other characters that are just gonna look identical to other characters in Fairy Tail. Like there's an Erza like equivalent, and it's just like, what the fuck? Like, at least the Tenchi Muyo guy made the decision that when he made a new series, it was a spin-off of Tenchi Muyo, and therefore the characters were there. Like, Dual doesn't look like, it looks like his art style, but it isn't just like, Tenchi's not in Dual. Now, eventually they retcon it in to make it part of the series, but that is after the fact. That is not in the beginning. Uh, but there's a straight up multiple characters that are just rehashes of old characters from Fairy Tail, but now they're in a sci-fi epic. And it's just like, come the fuck on, dude. That's nonsense. You're just like, yeah, there's a character that just is Lucy. There's a character that is just happy. There's a character that is Erza. Like, my main guy kind of looks like a young version of Gray. Like, that's just incredible to make that decision. Like, it's kind of incredible to do it. I don't think it works. I'm not going to watch it. I might. Here's the thing. I might watch Eden Zero eventually. I'm not like super like gotta watch it. It's not on my list, but like I might check it out after the season's over. This because there's so much good shit and so much new shit that I can't really myself personally justify watching a new recycled characters in a new story from a show that I liked but didn't love. I'm the guy that finished Fairy Tail. I watched all of Fairy Tail. I eventually saw the whole thing. So like, you know, this is I'm maybe the target demographic. I honestly think the target demographic is people that like never watched Fairy Tail but saw a lot of Fairy Tail art and they were like, "Oh, I guess I'll watch this one." Um, or people who back in the day liked Rave Master and didn't know that that's the person that made Fairy Tail, and now they're just finding that out and they're like, "All right, I guess I'll watch this because I didn't watch Fairy Tail, but I loved Rave Master." Someday I'll read all that manga and finish it because I never finished that manga. Someday I will. I don't know when that would happen. I can't imagine I'll ever actually do that, but maybe someday I will. All right, so we are not done with this jet piece here. We still have to finish building this, but you can see what it looks like now. And this is the jet mode. So basically, it has a jet mode here, and then these wings open up, and then some other stuff happens, and then eventually it goes on the back of this and looks cool as hell. Right now, it is just a jet thing that doesn't do anything yet, but it will. So, we still have to build some weapons on it, front weapons and side weapons, and a big sword that goes on it to this kit, because this kit has a big-ass sword. And we got a big stand to put it on. So we'll do all that later. Right now, we are going to raid. We end every stream with a raid, especially. We've got to say thanks to our raiders by sharing the love, by continuing the good times, and going on a cool raid. So let's do that. We're going to go raid somebody again. My next stream will be on Saturday. We will actually finish this up. But right now we are going to go check out another stream. Will they be model kit builders? Probably not. Will they be cool people? 100%. So we're gonna go see who's doing stuff and give them a little love. Uh, let's see. When is Oh, we're gonna go raid Xandra. Xandra made all of my emotes. Xandra rules. We want to give her some support. She's playing Sekiro, and Xandra rules. So we are gonna go and hang out in that chat. So feel free to come along with this. Again, my next stream will be this coming Saturday, 9 p.m. Eastern, where I will continue to work on this kit and finally actually finish it, and then start a cool Lego kit. So come along for that. Thank you so much for being here. I hope you have a great rest of your Thursday. I'm gonna go probably to bed a little early because I did get my vaccine. I'm feeling 88%, I will say. But thanks for being here. Thank you again to Bobby Dice Roller for all of those gifted subs. Welcome everybody new. Hope you stick around. And I'll see you in the next Build with Bear. Let's go on this raid. And goodbye, 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 goodbye.